If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
I always like to begin with something interesting. And there was this huge bust of highly illicit goods in Hong Kong. I don't know if you read about this. Now, Hong Kong police has tracked down a van that had 70 NVIDIA graphic cards hidden in a shipment of live lobsters. Yes, live lobsters. Okay. The entire cargo was valued at $76,000. And what's even more bizarre is that they were trying to sneak in these old NVIDIA Quadro workstation graphic cards, which are really ancient, where you can buy them locally in China for a fraction of the cost than if you were on the outside. So why would they do this, right? Apparently, they were trying to avoid China's sales tax, which is about 13%. Could you just imagine? Okay, I know that you have these lobsters going there. Can I just put some stuff in there just with it? Okay. Talk about a strange lobster tail. Oh, that was bad. I know. Hey, listen, it's Friday, and that means it's time for another exhilarating episode of Kim Commando Today. Now, this is not the Kim Commando show that I host on over 420 top radio stations across the United States and heard in 175 different countries and 200 ships at sea on the American Forces Network Radio. That, my dear friends, is Monday through Friday on Kim Commando Today. This is our electrifying Friday show. And we're honored not just to have one, but actually two folks, the dynamic duo from Commando.com and all of our fabulous products and newsletters joining us. And first of all, we have our amazing content queen, Ali Seligman. Ali, thank you for being here. I know you're so super busy. Can you just do a little bit more every day? Just can you give us just another thing a day?
I could sleep less, maybe. No.
I don't know if you're
I think
that too. I mean, lately I'm shaking my head like, what happened? Where did the day go?
I know.
So,
I'm totally with you.
Crazy. All right, so what are you going to talk about here?
Oh, bad news. Allie's back with a scam warning, but it's one that you need to know so that you don't fall for it. I've got my latest tech life upgrade and a handy little tip if you are in the Google sphere, if you use Google Docs and Sheets, and you're always like, how the heck do I format this? What do I do here? How does this work? Little trick for you.
Ooh, love those little tricks. And then, of course, we have our magnificent millennial and our very own internet scout, Matthew Keppel. What do you have on tap, Matt?
I'm going to talk about how birds are FaceTiming each other. Yeah, it's really happening. As well as some cool AI tools that are actually better than ChatGPT.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Hey, listen, if you're looking for a new way to enjoy the Kim Commando Today podcast, how about adding a visual element to the mix? That's right. You can watch us do the show over on YouTube. Say hello. That's right. YouTube.com/Kim Commando and hit that big old subscribe button so that you never miss a moment. So whether you prefer to listen or watch, we totally have you covered. All right, let's start with the news. I'm going to go first, and let's say it's the big wedding day. Matt, you got to pay attention to this. Okay? There's the one thing, well, there's a couple of things that grooms dread. It's not the tuxedo, maybe some, that drunk family member that's going to get obnoxious. Okay, but you have to invite them or else your mother's going to be really mad.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so you don't have that. It's the wedding vows. How do you come up with your wedding vows? Well, now ChatGPT is here to help us, right? It turns out that a lot of folks are going into ChatGPT to write all these special vows for the most important day. In a report from Wired, there's this popular wedding website, Joy. They actually added a ChatGPT power tool to help you create your speeches, the names of your cocktails, wedding hashtags, thank you notes, and also polite ways to tell somebody that they are not invited. Okay. So I decided to give it a shot. So I went over to ChatGPT and said, hey, would you write some wedding vows for my to-be husband? Okay, so here was what it said. Kim, today I stand before you in front of our family and friends. You should be listening to this, Matt.
Yeah, I'm listening. Very
Ready
intently.
to make a lifelong commitment. As I look into your eyes, I see a strong, independent, brilliant woman who's dedicated her life to empowering others. I'm in awe of all that you've accomplished and the impact that you've had. You are the most caring, loving, thoughtful person I know. I promise to cherish you, to respect you, to love you unconditionally for the rest of my life. You are my best friend, my soulmate, my forever partner. Doesn't it make you want to just cry?
I'm going to steal that exact word.
Okay, that's great. Okay. I know. That's all you need. Just go to ChatGPT and say wedding vows, and you can name the person. They're going to go out on the Wikipedia page. If they have one, you can just give some characteristics, maybe talk about some stories. I remember when we first met, But, every time I think about weddings, is that, before I was married, and I don't know if this has happened to either of you, is that there's always those people in your family that say, oh, don't worry, honey, you'll be next, right? Mm-hmm. Don't worry, you'll be next. So I know it was kind of mean, but my great aunt had passed away. And so I sat there and I looked at a couple of my other great aunts and I said, don't worry, honey, you'll be next. And they were they looked at me like horrified. And then I started laughing and they're like, oh, I get it now. All right. So ChatGPT for your wedding vows, Matt. What do you have on tap? You have birds talking or FaceTiming or what was this? This
is a fascinating story, and when I was researching for the story, I ended up watching hours of videos of birds talking to each other, but we'll get into that later. Before the pandemic, how often do you think you used video calls? Did you use it a lot, or was it more of a every once in a while thing?
Barely ever.
Every once in a while.
Right.
Yeah.
But now we're all using it daily, multiple times a day, all the time, right? Yeah. Well, we're not the only ones who are doing this, because researchers have recently done a study of parrots. And what they've done is they've created a system to help parrots socialize with each other through FaceTime. Here's how it works. It's similar to any dating site or Tinder or whatever you have, where they hold up the iPad in front of the bird. The bird has a tiny little rubber thing on the end of its beak, and it shows two pictures of two different birds. The bird chooses which one it wants to talk to by clicking its beak on the screen. And then once he chooses, they video chat with that bird. Now, the scientists were worried because a lot of the times in the wild, they can get aggressive or whatever. And they were worried that this might happen, but they ended up socializing and copying each other's body languages and even saying words.
Funny.
Some of the parrots that can actually speak human language were saying words to each other and talking around. Now, the reason this is important is because birds, like parrots, really are social creatures, but because they're domesticated and they're kept in houses, they don't have the immunity to fight against common diseases within the parrots. And so they can't really get them together in real life. And so this allows them to socialize with each other.
I love this.
Since this study, there have been a ton of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram groups of people who own parrots who didn't even think about this. And now they're all getting together on social media to have these big bird parties where they all can get together and their birds can hang out. Some people are even keeping iPads that are turned on in the birds' cages so that they can FaceTime their best friend birds whenever they want.
Oh my gosh, you're kidding.
No. There are hours of videos that I went down the rabbit hole with on this. If you want to go check it out, it's just birds FaceTime on YouTube.
I'm going to do that.
It's hilarious.
Delightful.
It's fantastic.
I'm going to, speaking of a parrot, true story. I went over to a friend's house years ago, and I didn't really know this woman, but it's like a new acquaintance. And so I was over there. All of a sudden, I hear wonka, 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 ooh, wonka, 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 ooh. And I'm like, Mary, what is that? She's like, that's my parrot. He's been hearing my son playing Pac-Man, and that's all he does all day long.
Oh, that's great.
Could you imagine? That's all you hear 24/7? Waka, waka, waka. Oh, okay. Crazy stuff. All right, now we're happy, but now we're going to bad news, Allie.
Right, that was so delightful. I'm just thinking about these parrots on their iPads, and now we have to talk about scams. But okay, we know by now, and listening, that scams they're almost trendy, right? They come in phases, and something is popular for a while, and then maybe it's all over the news, all over the internet, and so the hackers kind of say, I'm going to ease off on that tactic for a little bit until everybody forgets about it, and then it comes back. So one of those scams, which is raging right now, is the AnyDesk help scam. Perhaps you've heard of AnyDesk. It's a totally legitimate remote access tool, and it has been, for many years, part of the hacker's toolkit. Why? Because they can take over your phone or your computer and get lots of information that way. I found, yes, it's all over news sites, but I have found so many Reddit threads lately with people saying this happened to them. It always starts the same with like, guys, I'm really embarrassed that this happened to me, but I need some help. This person said, I was using my iPhone. I called Facebook support. I will never do this again, I know, but I got them on the phone. The call was 15 minutes. I downloaded AnyDesk, let them onto my iPhone. Okay, first of all, Facebook is not going to answer within 15 minutes. So there's sign number one. This person luckily had a couple things in their favor. It's a little less bad if it's just on your phone. Not as much they can get as on the desktop version. Also, they got suspicious. Once the person started asking about their bank account, they knew. And so they hung up. That is what you do. So if you get a call from someone from whatever support, or the other common way this happens, you do what we always tell you not to do. You Google for a tech support number of some kind.
Stop that.
You call that number. May or may not be the actual company. The person's going to be totally helpful. They're probably going to get on the phone right away. Maybe another sign, right? If it's a really big company, if you don't have to wait at all. And then they'll start asking about, yes, things like your passwords, your bank account. Hang up the phone if you end up in this situation. AnyDesk knows all about this, obviously. They have a whole page dedicated to avoiding these. Their rules, rule number one, never give anyone you don't know access to your devices. That goes without saying. Number two, never share online banking details or passwords with anyone. Pretty basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
So remember, if someone reaches out to you because there's a problem with your computer or your account or your this or your that, it's a scam. If you want real, legitimate help, you have to seek it out. It is not going to land in your lap, I promise.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I love the one that says your Windows computer is running slow. Okay, everybody's Windows computer is running
Same.
slow. Okay?
Nobody's calling me.
Nope, nobody's calling yet. All right, coming up, we have, if you're booking a trip soon, I have an insider secret to get more leg room on that flight. Matt's going to be sharing some AI tools to better than ChatGPT. Allie has a new trick for your Google Docs and Sheets. And who's on joke this week?
It's me.
And what do you think?
All right, listen. As you said, Kim, I'm busy lately.
Yes.
I'm going to give this a 6.5.
Okay.
It's a passable joke.
So in other words, if anybody listening, if you have any decent jokes, you ought to be just sending them to us.
Please email me.
We will give you full credit. Yes, just email us, podcast@corretto.com. So stay right where you are.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
So I was looking at the thumbs up and the thumbs down for our brand new newsletters before we started the show here today. And 19,298 thumbs up. Okay. 690 thumbs down. Okay. So whoever you are, the 690 people versus the 19,298, we're sorry. I mean, I know that you don't like change, but this is just the way that it is. But if you want to be part of the cool kids, you want to be part of those 19,000 people that are giving us thumbs up every single day, these are people who recognize how to access exceptional, entertaining tech information in their inbox every single morning, over 400,000 strong. Well, you know where to go. You go to getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. Sign up for our free newsletters. You're going to love them. And if you're one of those folks who say, Kim Commando, I hated your newsletters. They were full of those nasty colon cleanse ads. Hey, I know. I got it too. I hated it myself. So that's why we changed, okay? People can change for the better. GetKim.com. Once again, that's GetKim.com. All right. This is part of the show where we like to pass along some fun tips. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to travel. Allie, you'll be going to New York soon. And Matt, you have a trip planned?
I do. Going to California here in a few weeks.
Nice.
Okay. And then I'm not sure where I'm going because I have to figure out if I can take my eyeball with me. What I mean by that, I know that sounds kind of weird, is that I'm getting a cornea transplant. And so I'm going to be having to hang low, which I had to get a physical yesterday at the Mayo Clinic in order to get my surgery for my transplant. Mm-hmm. And then so my Mayo doctor said, so, and I've known her for so long. And she said, so what's the recovery for this like? I said, I have to sit for at least a week or two and not do anything. And she's like, do you need some help? Like Valium or something? And I'm like,
that's a fair question.
I said, no. And then she goes, oh, I forgot. You don't like to take any pharmaceutical drugs. I said, yeah. I said, so what am I going to do? She said, wine will work. Like, okay.
Hey, there you go.
But for those of you who are fortunate enough to travel, Google Flights is the best, right? To get you from point A to point B. I just do one thing. I just sort by flight duration and the number of stops.
Same.
And that's where I end up, right? But what about you want to be able to stretch out? You don't want to be scrunched into that little seat the whole time. So what you do is you get this Google Chrome browser extension. It's called Legroom for Google Flights. Love that. You see how much legroom there is per seat. And if you don't use Chrome, just go to seatguru.com. You put in your airline, your flight number, and then you see a map of the best seats. So here are some pro tips. If you want to stretch out and avoid cramping up during that long flight, you want to aim for a seat in the front of the plane, okay, or the exit rows or the bulkhead rows. And those are the ones that are separated by the wall or the curtain. But the problem with some of those is you have to store all your crap above the seat, not in front of you. So every time you need something, you have to say, excuse me, can you move because I have to get my suitcase down. And then you pull up, then you drop the suitcase on your head to get out your AirPods because you forgot to get them out. Crazy. Okay. All right, here's one for you. This is something that you can pass along, and you don't even have to give me credit for it. Okay. Henry Winkler sits down on a plane, and the flight attendant comes over and asks him if he would like free headphones. And he says, "Oh, that's great, but it's pronounced Fonz." All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, Matt, save us. Save us.
All right. ChatGPT came out the end of last year and everybody's using it for all kinds of things, but there are other AI tools that have come around since then that can do some more, let's say, specific things, right? I mean, ChatGPT is great for writing and for, helping write your wedding vows and all that jazz. But it's not the best at very specific things. So I went online and I found 2 AI tools that are really, really helpful for these things. The first one is called TripNotes.ai. Now, what it does is it allows you to plan a trip to any city in the world without having to go on Google, without having to go on TripAdvisor, without having to do all that and spend hours. So what you do is you type in the city that you want to go to, and then let's say you want to say, I want a itinerary for a single day. It'll give you a breakfast. It'll give you what to do after breakfast. It'll give you what to do for lunch, all the way through the day, and plan out your day for you. Another way you can use it is, say you're in business and you want to go to a client lunch, but you've been in the city for 3 hours and you don't know all the places. You can say, give me 5 restaurants that are perfect for a business lunch with a client. And it'll pop up all 5 of the restaurants around you and tell you exactly where you can go, what they're rated, what kind of food they have, all that kind of stuff. So
that's
it's
awesome.
Really, really helpful. I know that I'm going to use it for my upcoming vacation, so it's a good tool. But if
What's the address again?
It is called TripNotes.ai.
TripNotes.ai. Got it.
Yes. Now,
I'm going to use that.
It's amazing. I just used it this morning. The second one is if you're not so lucky to go on vacation, if you're stuck at the office, if you're still working, but you want AI to help you with some of your work. Now, this one's called Gamma.ai. And what it does is it allows you to easily create a presentation for virtually anything. So you can type in a prompt. You type in a prompt and then you say, I want to do it on, marketing strategy for my toilet paper company. So you type that in and it'll pull out bullets. You can then edit those bullets. It'll just say, this is the basic information we're going to provide. You edit those bullets and then you click create, and it'll create you a 15, 20 page slide that has all the colors and transitions and everything already done.
Incredible.
So no longer do you have to spend 4 hours trying to create just the perfect PowerPoint presentation. AI can do it for you.
I could just get that swipe effect.
Yeah, right? Exactly. That one's
awesome.
gamma.ai.
That's cool.
And is it free?
Yeah, they're both free.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty awesome. You know, maybe we ought to try that we actually did a nice sales deck for the newsletter.
We did.
Yeah. Maybe we should try. Yes, we don't need
Instead
that,
of emails, do you want me to just start sending you presentations about everything, Kim?
Yes, I think that'd be really great. Because, I don't have enough touch points between us, Ellie. I mean, between email, texting, and Google Workspace, I'm just feeling like where is she? We need to be able to communicate better. Matey? That's every time I'm chatting back and forth, Matt, with Allie, Google will come out and say, "Thank you, mate." It's like one of those options that you can just click on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just her matey.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And speaking of Google, you've got some nifty tricks up your sleeve there, Allie,
I
right?
do. Google has a handy new thing. So we have all had that case where we're in like a spreadsheet. It could be a PowerPoint, even a Word doc. And you're like, okay, I know that there's a way that I can turn this column into money, but I don't remember how. Or I need to just get rid of this whole row. I don't want it anymore. I am messing up I'm going to mess the whole thing up. Well, now Google realized, okay, let's let people do this the way that they Google things. So there's a new search bar where you can type in very plain language the thing you want done. So you can highlight a column and say, delete. Or you can, highlight something and say, turn this into percentages. You can say, format these as dates, whatever it is. So you can use, your regular language, how you would say things. Really handy.
Smart.
I know.
Wow.
I think, I thought about this when Matt was talking about the vacation planner. This is, I think, part of the, where AI is going and how helpful it can be for us, because it allows us to just talk to our tech in our normal words. And we don't have to know exactly where in a menu to find something. We don't have to know the perfect term to Google. We can just use our words. And so
that would be, it's so annoying. You have to go up to like you were talking about removing a row. I actually tried to do that and I had it all screwed up.
Exactly.
You go to, and then thank God for Control Z,
Right.
You have to go sometimes it's off of view and then format, sometimes under tools and then format. And you're like, okay, then what I do is I send it to Amber Barnett. Can you just get rid of that for me?
Can you help?
Yeah, I just need some help. I'm so busy. That's really, these are, you know what? These are great tips.
Yeah.
These are fabulous tips.
Thank you,
and
Kim.
that's why if you like tips like these, you should be getting our daily tech update. Wherever you get your podcast, it's a 60-second podcast. And what can you get in 60 seconds? Just this, one bit of know-how that you're going to use time and time again. Also, I do a news story every single day, too. So that's our daily tech update. Hey, coming up, we have a story. It's a funny story about an exhausted robot. Yes, that's right. Matt has a report about, Matt, you're going to be talking about Selena Gomez? Is that what I see here?
I don't want to give too much away, but it was an interesting week.
Oh, okay. And then Allie has a way to upgrade our tech life, and she has an average joke at the end. So just stay right where you are.
Since our founding in 2000, we at the Center for Internet Security have always had one mission. It's to create confidence in the connected world for people, businesses, and governments. As a nonprofit, we do this by drawing upon our core competencies of collaboration and innovation. The world is changing, cyber threats are evolving, and IT resources are limited. All you want is a way to strengthen your cybersecurity programs efficiently and effectively. Let CIS help you with these efforts. We use a consensus-based process involving IT professionals from around the world to develop and maintain security best practices. These resources are proven to defend systems and data against threats, both on premises and in the cloud. We also strive to help organizations of every size and maturity strengthen their cybersecurity programs. This includes serving U.S. state, local, tribal, and territorial government organizations. At CIS, we're all about making the connected world a safer place. Visit our website to learn more.
Hey, are you ready to take your tech game to the next level? Of course you are. Introducing our brand new daily tech life hack. Every afternoon, we're going to send you the greatest and latest tips to help you upgrade your life from smartphones to smart homes and all in between. We have you covered. So make sure that you sign up right now because you want to be one of the beginning folks. You can say, hey, I was one of the first people that got that. So like years from now, people say, oh, I just signed up for, the current tech hack. And you'll be like, yeah, all right, where have you been, loser? So you can sign up right now over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. All right, here's the headline. Warehouse robot collapses after working 20 hours straight.
Oh my God.
What?
Yes.
Robots just like us.
Right. It just collapsed on the job. And like, that's it. Agility Robotic created this robot called Digit. And Digit is 5'9", 140 pounds, stands on 2 feet and carry around plastic bins with ease. So it's meant to work in a warehouse. Now, one day he was demonstrating his skills on a factory floor in Boston. He was moving boxes, he was building circuit boards, and some people, I know you're right, would say, how do you know it was a he, Kim Commando? Because I know. I know these things. It was a he. A few times he fell. He face planted on the floor hard. And what the researchers and the scientists discovered is that he was just tired.
Oh, Digit.
Yes. And it wasn't that the battery was running low. I'm like, maybe the battery. He just was getting tired. And they're trying to figure out, like, so how long and why did this robot get tired after 20 hours of work? Okay. Well, I guarantee you, think about this. That little guy, he was going back and forth through his warehouse and 3 shift changes, right?
How many steps do you think he had?
Oh,
Man.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I know. The poor thing was just tired. And so why don't robots have brothers? Why don't they have brothers? Why don't robots have brothers? You know why? Because they all have trans sisters. Speaking of, because I mentioned that I went, I don't know, we're getting off topic, but I just got to tell you. So I actually asked my Mayo doc about this yesterday, too. I said, they have this whole pre-check-in thing. Mm-hmm. And so it comes down to gender. Okay. All right. So I know it's a sensitive topic, but there was male, there was female, there was transgendered, unigendered, and genderless. So I asked my doctor, I was like, I just checked female. I mean, but I'm just wondering, like, who's like genderless? I mean, what is? She's like, I know, but it's just anyway. I know we digress. So Matt, let's talk about Selena Gomez.
Okay, I'll try to transition out of that one. Transition, yeah. Photos of celebrities go viral all the time. The one that always comes to mind for me is that one back in 2014 at the Oscars when Ellen DeGeneres took the selfie with all the other celebrities around her.
Oh, yeah, that was amazing.
Selfie that broke the internet, right? But this happens all the time. But would that picture have been as popular as it was if it was generated by AI? Probably not. But that is exactly what happened this week. So we all know the Met Gala. It's in the past, but we got to talk about it a little bit to get into the story. The Met Gala just happened a few days ago. And this is where a whole bunch of celebrities come out dressed in super high fashion with all these crazy outfits and take pictures on the runway. And then these pictures get shared on social media and everybody likes them and whatever happens. So there was, Billie Eilish, Anne Hathaway, Penelope Cruz, Nicole Kidman all wore amazing dresses and their pictures were all shared. But the one that got the most likes was a picture of Selena Gomez at the Met Gala. And it was immediately posted the night after the Met Gala. And that morning, it got hundreds of millions of views and thousands and thousands and thousands of likes. Now, the thing is, Selena Gomez wasn't at the Met Gala. Okay. She had just finished filming the show and was in a different state altogether and wasn't at the Met Gala. This was a AI tool that someone used to Photoshop this picture of another celebrity to put Selena Gomez's face on her body and then shared it on Twitter. And the tag was, Selena makes a surprise appearance at the Met Gala, and everybody lost their minds. Immediately, fans of Selena Gomez were like, she didn't attend. And then she even came back and was like, this is not a real picture. And then Twitter actually put a little tag at the bottom of the picture that was going viral and said, this is not a real picture, that she was not at the Met Gala.
Oh, my God.
So I mean, this is getting kind of crazy, right? I mean, we're getting into an age where everybody starts to believe that someone was at this big event when they were not, just because someone used an AI tool to make an image of someone else there. So
what's her? I haven't seen the photo, but was the dress amazing?
The dress was really pretty. I mean, it wasn't like a swan wrapped around her that was 25 feet long or anything. It was like a blue, like satiny kind of dress. But I mean, I think it's just because of all the drama that's been going on around Selena Gomez that we don't really need to get into because it's complicated. But she's gotten more popular in the last year than I believe any other celebrity. So other than her and Taylor Swift are like the big two right now. So.
Taylor Swift, she's a force, that one, I'll tell you. All right, speaking of social media, make sure that you follow us. We are at Kim Komando everywhere. Instagram.com/Kim Komando, Facebook.com/Kim Komando. You know the drill. So wherever you are on social media, go ahead, seek us out and follow so you never miss anything. All right, still to come in this amazing podcast, Allie has a fantastic upgrade for managing your email addresses, and she also has a hilarious joke. We hope. So stay right where you are.
When you need auto parts, O'ReillyAuto.com is just a click away. Order online and pick up at your local store. Visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hey, don't miss out on these awesome podcasts Monday through Thursday. They're perfect for when you're on the go, you're walking, driving, just chilling at home, and I will be your virtual companion throughout. We chat, we laugh. We have guests, and then there's also all these callers, and we pass along tips. So don't forget, Monday through Thursday, make an appointment with me. That's right. And take me on a walk with you. And then when you do, take a picture or take a selfie, and then, put it out on social media and tag me. So this way I know that you just took me for a walk. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to get my steps in. I still will do that. But I just want to see you walking. All right. So, Allie, a great tech upgrade, huh?
Yes, indeed. This is just going to be me admitting some things. Now, my work email, I keep it clean, right? I clean out my inbox regularly. I keep up with things because it's important that I don't lose things. My personal email is a complete wasteland of, it's madness. It's true madness. I checked yesterday. There was like 9,400 emails in there.
Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
It's not good. And most of it's junk. It's stuff I don't want to deal with. I just don't care enough because I don't use my personal email for that much stuff. But I didn't want to lose things that I actually do need to see and do care about within that email. So a while ago, I set up a home email address. And this is actually something that Kim recommended. And so I set this up for my streaming subscriptions, bills, things that I don't want them to get lost among all the other crap that's in my personal inbox. And it's nice too because you can share it with someone. So, I can share this with my husband. We can both have control of it and both see all this stuff. And it's not lost among all the junk in my regular inbox. So my tips here, if you're going to do this, do it in the system that you're already using. If you're a Gmail person, just make another Gmail. You don't need to go find a completely new service. Again, you can share it with somebody. So there are different ways, which we've got over at Komando.com. If you want to share an inbox with someone, whether it's you both have the password or you have shared access through your main accounts, there are a few different ways to do it. But it is a nice way to make sure that even if your inbox is a huge mess like mine, you have a place that it's almost like, instead of like the work and the personal, it's almost like the business side of your personal life, right? So all that stuff can go there. You don't have to worry about it among all the, Bath and Body Works coupons or whatever's in my regular inbox.
Well, that's a really great idea. And when you were talking about shared inbox, it's kind of like, when you would go to the mail box.
Right? I know.
And you pull out a bill and then you look at, Scott, and you say, you bought what? Now it just comes right into your email. So now you can, it's even quicker, to get that.
For that, you bought what?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Those steps are over on Komando.com. So if you want to do this, we have some smart ways you can do it. This is also really handy if you have multiple properties or, you help somebody else out with their bills. Definitely do this. We will walk you through all the ways to set it up and some pro tips for making it even easier to manage.
All right, that's good stuff. So I'm hoping that the next thing that you pass along is equal, because you've been knocking it out of the ballpark today, Allie. Let me just tell you. I mean, with everything that you passed along, everything is a home run. So when you do that, it's a lot of pressure, okay? Because you can't go from being great to being mediocre or worse. So pressure's on. But it's your turn
fun
for the
joke time, everybody. Let's do this. All right. So a guy was walking home alone one night and he hears a bump, bump, bump sound behind him. And he starts walking faster and he looks back and he sees a coffin that's like standing upright down the middle of the street coming toward him. And he gets a little freaked out, right? So he starts to run toward his house. And the coffin is bouncing after him faster and faster. He gets to his door. By this point, he's fumbling with his keys. He opens the door, he rushes in, he locks it. Then the coffin crashes through his front door, and the lid is like clapping at his heels. So it's right behind him. So he goes upstairs to the bathroom and he locks himself in, his heart is pounding. And there's a crash, and the coffin breaks down the door and is slowly coming toward him. And he's screaming, and he's looking around, reaching for things, and all he finds is a box of cough drops. He threw them at the coffin, and suddenly the coffin stops.
Okay,
that was pretty good.
That was okay.
I thought that was pretty good. All right, here's the deal. You've got to listen to my radio show this weekend, or you can catch it as a podcast next Monday through Thursday, because here are some things that I have coming up. We're talking about how the most popular app in the United States erased all mentions of it being involved with anything with China. I also have a story about a woman who sold stolen body parts on Facebook. Yeah. And then there's a brand new tool that lets you know if your car is selling your data. So these are some big stories. And of course, we have some great interviews and phone calls. So again, that's the Kim Komando Show. You can find it on your local radio station. Head over to Komando.com, and then we have the station finder there. Or you can catch it as a podcast right here where you get Kim Komando today. It'll be Monday through Thursday next week. All right, so this is part of the show where you like to say au revoir with a great tip. And how about, Matt, you go first.
Try out these other AI tools, Gamma.ai, if you were looking for something for work. It's super handy. I honestly think I'll start using it.
Nice.
It's awesome. How about you, Al?
Email. Okay, you could clean up your personal inbox. You're not going to do that. I know you're not. So if you have stuff that you want to keep track of for your household, set up a new email address. It's a good move.
And me is, plan that trip and do it sooner than later. I did read something in the Wall Street Journal this past week that international flights are going to be maybe 30 to 40% more expensive than last year. Wow. Okay. And then domestic flights are now increasing. I thought it said 18 to 25%. So if you want to go anywhere, now is the time for you to buy that ticket. You don't want to wait. Absolutely. Hey, do us a great solid and make sure you tell 3 people about our podcasts. And we always want to hear your thoughts and your comments. And hey, if you want us to share a joke of yours, let us know. And again, that address is podcasts@komando.com. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you here again, all 3 of us next week. And I will see you on Monday's podcast.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.